You can see the brand at the back. We're talking about Valkyrie at Computex 2025 with a bit of a new design language at the back, and it kind of goes towards their new fans, new coolers, and it kind of creates a bit of a different image than what we saw recently. But let's deep dive into their products and check out what we can expect this year and the new upcoming products as well. Starting off with air coolers, we have Surge SL with a single tower. We have non-RGB fan right here on front, black and, well, basically white and black. And the cool thing about the black one is has the gold Valkyrie logo at the top. So no RGB in this one. But then we go with Surge DL, so dual tower, dual fan combination, 120 on front and in the middle. And you can see the fan right here on the white version. It definitely complements the whole design when we're talking about going from the fan towards the top part. Now, this one right here has 6 heat pipes, and I presume they're 6 millimeters. While we're talking about the SL125, we're talking about 4 heat pipes. You already know this one. We already had that review, and quite familiar faces when we're talking about the AIOs, but I'm not going to cover the portfolio, which is already in the reviews that I did. You'll see that in the description below. We're going with the new A series, which has the digital screen right here. And apparently you don't need any software. So it connects via USB 2.0 directly to the motherboard, and it collects data directly from BIOS. So you get CPU thermals visible here, and basically that's it. So the new design of the fans, and it kind of continues to the whole new visual aspect. As you can see, the whole boot is covered with that. And then we go with something that you've seen already. So we're talking about V360 Lite. And you have the review, of course, linking it in the description, as I stated, for everything. Now going forward, so let's continue with the cases. We have VKO3 Mini, white and black. You have the screen on the side right here, which will be customizable through their software, so mid-cool software with a couple of presets, which you will be able to adjust to yourself in terms of visual aspect. The case doesn't come with the graphic design on the power supply shroud, so in that terms, I'm not quite sure if there's a possibility to place fans here to get more intake for the fans, for the whole chassis in general, because you have the openings here on the side, on the front, and on the back you don't. But this should be just enough if there is a possibility to mount the fans here. 2 120 on the side. You have possibility for 3 120 at the top and 1 120 at the back, which kind of creates enough when we're talking about airflow if you're going with some type of a mid-range PC. The same thing continues to the black version, so we're going with a 360 on top in this sense. So you have the option to go either with an air cooler in that sense and with the 360 AIO, which is kind of cool because you're going with a much smaller footprint, much smaller case, and you get the option to still have a 360. I'm going to skip this peripheral just for a while so we can continue on the next product. Now, this is VKO3, and you might have seen it last year. So the screen right here is possible to move on this side and on the front. It's all up to you depending how you want it. Of course, the presets are again in their mid-cool software. And then we have something quite interesting. This is V360, not the light version. They have the new LCD screen right here, which has the resolution 720 by 720. So much better resolution, much better screen, better visuals, and definitely appealing because it has that a bit of a minimalistic design. Of course, I know most of you would go with even more minimalistic, but I think taking this into consideration and their past products, this looks brilliant, specifically because it covers these screws. So most likely this is magnetically attached. Yeah, here we go. So you remove it like this. You have the cable USB 2.0 going directly to the motherboard and control it via mid-cool software. 360 on top. You have the possibility to place intake 3 120 here on the side, 1 120 or 1 140 at the back, and you can go with quite loads of fans when I'm looking here. You can go with 3 120 or 3 140 at the power supply shroud. So if for some strange reason or any reason at all you decide to go with custom loop, you can go with quite huge radiator here as well. Nice and interesting. Now, this is where we have the new A series. As you can see, it shows the GPU temperature, it shows the CPU temperature. Now, I'm only wondering how can it pull the GPU temperature out of BIOS. So that's, let's see here if I could, it has the mirror effect completely. So I'm just trying to give you an idea how it looks. The indication for the height of the thermal and the Valkyrie logo is in green color, as you can see. And then we have the digital screen for the thermals. Let's head over. We have some custom builds over here, which are filled with different figurines and how everything looks. In terms of keyboards and peripherals, what we have here are three types of keyboards. In general, really digging this design, like something like a sunset. Then we have the black and white monochromatic look. And let me go here so you can check out the monochromatic look. And finally, we have this more approachable for the female gamers with the purple, pink, and all the combination. The keyboards will have mechanical switches. So this one currently has magnetic switches. In those terms, you do need software to actually regulate that, but they are going out first with mechanical. Honestly, in my personal opinion, what I really love is this monochromatic look, and I think you'll agree, most of you guys. But if not, then the Sunset one looks really appealing. The cool thing about these keyboards is that it's wireless. It has two mode options, so you have Windows and Mac, USB Type-C for charging, and on and off switch, of course. You have some indication lights for caps lock, screw lock, and Windows, like the gaming mode. Nice dial here at the top, which looks quite nice and premium aluminum with Valkyrie logo, quite nice and subtle. And actually, when you take a look at it, even though the top part is quite minimalistic, really loving the design, this Valkyrie logo here with a splatter over here looks outstanding. And I'm really digging these keyboards. Really nicely designed. I have no words. Just can't wait for these. There is still no name for these, but when you take into consideration the design, the quality, you can see here in this one, if I can zoom in quite nicely, here we go. You have some dampening pads here, so there is no echo on mechanical keyboards, and that's actually really good. And as I said, we're going to go back with peripherals, two peripherals actually. Talking about the keyboards, we're done that. You know everything about those. But what we have right here in front is the M1 Pro mouse. Currently, it's still in production. We're going to have the final product hopefully quite soon. We have the DPI button at the bottom. Most likely this mouse pad will go around the optical sensor because we have edges right here, but this is just a mock-up, so we'll definitely have something concrete when it finalizes. And we have Bluetooth 2.4G and to switch it off. Now you see the docking station has some RGB lights, and one of the specs is 8K polling rate, 8K hertz polling rate on wireless mode. You do need to have the docking station turned on, so you connect the USB right here so you can get that polling rate. USB Type-C at the back, and you charge it simply as that. So this is quite cool. It comes in black and white, but honestly, if you ask me, I really like the white version because it has this light gray. Then we have the orange scroll wheel is in black. It has a rubberized scroll wheel for better grip, and not a bad addition to everything. So taking things into a new level, new perspective, what they did so far, we're getting new AIOs, definitely, with might be better performance, but I'm quite curious when we do all the benchmarks, regardless of everything in the past and, of course, comparison. But the new visual aspect of the brand is definitely more appealing. In terms of the cases, we're waiting for the VKO3 to launch and the VKO2 Mini or 3 Mini. Now I totally lost it. But regardless of that, cool keyboards, definitely cool keyboards. And I can't wait to see those in action and to see how they actually, do they have some echoing, even though I can't hear here properly, but with the dampening pad, that's not an issue. I didn't hear literally anything. The only thing that I just noticed is that the keyboard, which was uh, purple, pink, and white, doesn't have that volume knob. The magnetic one does have it. So it will be quite interesting to see if they will add that to the option of the mechanical keyboard, because it's quite handy. You have the screw, that volume knob on the side, and it could be quite handy to most of you guys. Also, the new AIO with 720 x 720 LCD version, which will be quite appealing, I do have to admit. So all in all, this was Valkyrie, and of course, for all the reviews that I did regarding the products that you've seen here are in the description below. If you want like more detailed reviews, more detailed information, and basically benchmarks as well for those products that are in that segment where they actually needed to have more specification in comparison and similar stuff. So guys, thanks for watching. This was Valkyrie at Computex 2025.